take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Were you rushing or were you dragging?
Here we go.
All right, welcome back to Movie Matrix. As always, my name is Joel. We got Matt.
Como está, mi amigos?
Got my dad.
What's going on?
Also known as David. And today we are going to be doing a pretty regular episode. We're going to start with What's in the Box, about what we've watched this week. And then we're going to continue our 2023 review, just kind of go through that.
Yes, sir.
And if we don't get done with it this week, we'll finish it next week, and then we'll give you our top 10, bottom 5. So I'm excited about that because I think those are fun.
That's the most exciting time of the year, man.
I do like the reviews, and I hope everyone else does too. So who wants to start first with this whole What's in the Box thing?
Pick me.
Go ahead.
Okay, sweet. So starting off with what I watched this last week. Let's just get TV out of the way first. You know me, throughout my work week, I still got a sitcom on in the background. I'm still killing Frasier for all the inquiring minds that are wanting to know. It's a fun show. Let's see here. I also did you guys ever watch Psych on USA back
Not
in
really.
the day?
Yeah, here and there.
My wife and I have been rewatching it over the last. We've been watching it on and off for the last few months. It's honestly a really fun, really well-written show. There's about 600 pop culture references per episode. So, I mean, if you like that, it's really enjoyable. The only thing, it's one of those shows that, like, the characters have to make just outlandish leaps to solve the cases and whatnot or whatever. But it's
like Monk.
really pretty much. I mean, there's a lot of shows like that, really. Mm-hmm. It's far from perfect, but it's a lot of fun if you're into that kind of stuff. I'm still on Next Level Chef. You know, we're getting through this season. I know people are dying to hear about that as well. I've also watched the first few episodes of Fallout on Prime Video.
I haven't watched that yet.
What is that?
It is really good, based on the video game.
Yeah, it's a new TV
Oh,
show.
I was thinking Mission Impossible. I was
No,
like,
it's
it's got good reviews.
Yeah, it's got the girl from Army of the Dead. It's got
or
Walton
Yellow
Goggins.
Jackets. I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've already put it. Said they're going to have a second season. So
The game's really fun, so it's cool that you know how that is because the new Borderlands looks bad.
I don't know.
So-
I don't know how to
so
feel
it's
about that.
interesting
but,
to see it. It's good.
Yeah,
though.
it's really well done. And it's funny. I didn't realize this until after I'd watched. I think the first 3 episodes are directed by Christopher Nolan's brother. So
well, there you go. That's why
I was
it's
like,
so
man,
good.
I was like, these are well done. I'm really getting into this. Yeah, so it's a pretty good show. You should check it out. That's the television that I watched this week. Films that I watched this week. I decided to give a rewatch to the film that Nick Cage won his Academy Award for, Leaving Las Vegas. Capital D for depressing. I tell you what. I mean, it's a really interesting character study on loneliness and alcoholism. But by God, is it just crushing. I mean, it's just, I just felt no joy afterwards, which is why I turned on Singing in the Rain afterwards, because that movie's pure joy.
that's the same thing, isn't it?
I really and truly was like, I need a palate cleanser or something.
Right.
Good Lord. So I watched Singing in the Rain, and it's pretty impossible to be furious.
Same storyline.
Yes, they're the same film. No, it's pretty impossible to be in a foul mood while you're watching Singing in the Rain. So there we go. And then I was thinking about the Strangers reboots that are coming out this next month. So I thought, hey, let's rewatch the original Stranger. So I watched The Strangers. On a rewatch, it's not quite as solid as I remembered. Still creepy, still effective, still unnerving. But good Lord, they make some stupid choices in this. And then I watched The Strangers Pray at Night. I'd actually never seen
sorry.
it.
It's like a 60-minute movie. So
Sorry.
I had actually never seen it. Came out back in 2018, and I heard it was terrible, so I never got around to watching it. It's not that bad.
It's not bad.
It's not that bad.
No.
It's not great, but it's more of a straight-up slasher than a psychological horror film like the first one is. You know, I mean, a lot of people are going to have more fun with that, honestly. So I can see why people enjoy it. It's again, you get your group of characters making typical horror movie decisions that'll have you screaming at the TV. But beyond that, it's not a terrible slasher.
Well,
I was expecting it awful.
I think where it falls short is people compare it to the first one, and the first one was pretty, as far as psychological characters and stuff like that.
It really depends on what you want in a horror film.
Right.
If you want a psychological, scary film, the first one is good. If you want just more of like a upbeat, lively slasher, The Strangers Pray at Night is more your speed. But those are the films that I watched this week and the TV that I watched this week. Who's next?
Well, I haven't watched a whole lot this week, so we'll just do that. Watched the latest episode of Shogun, which really enjoying still. It's getting better and better, and I can't wait to see.
You
it.
say that every week.
I'm serious.
I haven't watched it yet.
I can't wait to see what they come up with for the climax. I know this is a remake, so it's whatever. Also in the background, we've been watching a lot of that '70s show, man. We've been
Hey, there you go.
going
man.
good.
back and kicking on with that '70s show.
I love sick. I might get there one of these days too. Once I finish Frasier, I might hop onto that.
We're just
There you go.
we've seen it already, but we're just having a good time with it.
Yeah.
As far as movies goes, I only watched like 3 things this week. Let's see. I watched the Omen 3: The Final Conflict.
Yeah.
Sam Neill.
Yes.
I
Had not
never
seen
seen
that.
it. I want to see it.
Haven't seen it in forever,
Hmm.
and
How's it hold up?
it's not bad.
Okay.
I mean, it's not as good as the first one, but it's not bad.
Well, I didn't expect. It
I
to
mean,
be.
you kind of you get the end of the whole the whole series, and it ends pretty satisfying. It's not bad. Sam Neill, very young Sam Neill. I forgot,
Yeah,
just
it's
how
like
young
early
he
80s,
looked,
isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
and but it was good. I mean, it was it wasn't too bad.
For a third movie in a franchise that's
Yeah.
not that great. Past the
know,
first
it's-
one, it's not
I
bad.
was gonna say
It's
it's
not
kind of like The
bad.
Exorcist. It doesn't
Yeah.
even really need to be a franchise, but
They do
it's,
it.
it's not bad. I watched what was it, The Jewel Thief? Yes, The Jewel Thief. This is a documentary,
oh,
Okay.
and it's
that's why it doesn't sound familiar to me.
No, me
about a
either.
guy who in his
Steals jewels?
in his teens he started all these different elaborate heists, and
Okay.
basically you're trying to say he's some kind of mastermind. I just thought he was kind of an eccentric, not a very nice guy, I should say. He's just
Sure.
kind of full of himself, and it was hard to. A lot of these documentaries, when they're doing this, they're trying to say that you kind of want to feel for the person. I felt nothing for this person. I felt like
So
he
you-
he needed to be in jail, deserved to be in jail. He was not. He was just in it for himself, and but he started doing all these elaborate heists when he was a teenager. He would steal thousands of dollars worth of stuff from like Radio Shack and just different electronic stores and stuff, and then go and resell them back. Just try to return them for the cash. And he
Mhm.
did this forever. Eventually, he started robbing banks in Canada, and
That's the place to do it. Where
Yeah,
they, like,
yeah.
arrest you on their horse.
Yeah.
and I don't get into it because it is fairly new. But it's I think it's worth watching just to see this person, this character. He's not somebody that you like a whole lot. It's just by the end of it, I was just like, this guy's kind of a dirtbag. I just did
Yeah,
not,
sounds like it.
just did not get behind it at all. It was okay. Then I watched Baghead. You guys heard of that one?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a new horror film, isn't it?
Yes, on Shudder.
Yeah. Was it pretty good?
And it wasn't bad. I was surprised. You hear the name and go,
Okay.
It sounds pretty dumb.
bad 80s type of horror movie. It's actually wasn't bad. The main character inherits a pub. I can't remember where it is. Is it England or Ireland or something? I'm not sure. But she inherits this pub, and she has to sign a contract saying, yes, I take possession. And what she doesn't know is that there is a lady being kept in the basement who has powers, and she can contact the dead.
Oh, I was gonna say, what kind of powers?
But she can only contact the dead for 2 minutes at the time. After that 2 minutes, they say she takes over.
It doesn't say where it's from, but pub make me think Irish.
Yeah, it's just
so
it
you know,
does.
it's
though. I
just-
mean,
you know,
and
I don't know.
even the
It's obviously Dublin.
just
Oh, wait. Berlin.
Berlin.
There it
Okay.
is.
Oh, Germany. Okay, cool.
Ireland,
Very
Germany,
close.
same country.
Potato.
So there are people come to her and say, "Hey, I want to contact so and so I can say goodbye or whatever."
Sure.
And it kind of takes off from there because she's able to manipulate whoever's in that room with her, take over. She kind of makes you see things that aren't there. It's just
Right.
it's really it's not a bad movie. It was
There's
actually
okay reviews.
fairly good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say watch it. I mean, it's not something I just went in and go, "Oh, this is horrible, never watch it again." But
Yeah.
it was pretty good. If you got Shudder, I mean, it's on Shudder, so
The main actress is Freya Allen or Freya
Yeah,
Allen.
from-
Maybe it's Freya Allen. But she's from The Witcher, and she's the main character
Right.
in Kingdom Planet of the Apes. As well, when I say main character, the main human character.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it was well acted. It was well done as far as a horror movie goes. So yeah, I would recommend it.
I've only
actually.
seen her in The Witcher. She's good in that, so
Mhm.
whatever. Okay, so what I watched this week, I watched Moonrise Kingdom, Wes Anderson. It's
Mhm.
very, very good.
Yep.
I've been going through all these directors, so I've went through like Scorsese, Wes Anderson, all these people, anyways. But then I watched, like I said, I watched Quiet on Set, The Dark Side, Kids TV, finished all that stuff.
Oh yeah, I watched that too. Hey, there you go.
And then I watched Aguirre, The Wrath of God. It's my first Herzog Werner
Herzog,
movie.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
It was really good. It's just you just watch a guy go into madness basically, and everyone's following him. And it's hard without saying too much. 'Cause you don't want to give it away, but the end scene is awesome. Like it's an older movie. The way they're able to actually get this camera angle going, it's very very impressive. It's a very awesome movie. It's not for the lighthearted. It's a slow burn It's kind of like a documentary style.
Yeah.
It's not a documentary, but it's kind of how it looks. It's like handheld most of the time.
Yeah.
Slow burn, older, good, well acted, and it's also in like German. So
I would also recommend. They've got a documentary out about the lead actor. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
And how crazy that dude was, and he was hard to work with.
he's crazy in this movie.
I mean,
so
he's like, they're pretty sure he was probably bipolar, and he took it out on everybody. He was hard to work with.
gotcha.
Herzog hated him by the end of it.
I've never seen it. I think the only Werner Herzog film I've seen is Bad Lieutenant. But
Right. And then I watched Death Proof. I guess I'm going through Tarantino.
Mhm.
That's the only one I hadn't seen yet. If you don't,
Yeah.
I'm not really counting From Dusk Till Dawn or Grindhouse because technically those aren't his.
Right.
Yeah.
But this one is his. It was really good actually. It's
pretty good.
It has like a little bit of flair Robert Rodriguez, but then they dropped him. They're like, but they still kept some flair of his for sure. It
It's got
takes
that
a
Spy Kids flair. That's
it
what
does.
you mean.
It does. Yeah. It takes a hard left turn. Like it's technically like two stories put into one. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell just eating screen.
Yeah, he is.
Big fan of him in this one actually. It's got good people in it. I would recommend it.
It's got that very 70s,
It's one of my.
feel for it. Yeah.
I think it's on the lower end of my rankings of his, but still it's good. I mean, he doesn't really make a bad movie. I
Yeah.
watched the short film Thanksgiving that spawned Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
Hadn't seen
yeah.
that.
I never seen it. It was like 3 minutes long. They actually use a lot of the stuff from that in the movie.
Is that on YouTube?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
find it pretty much anywhere.
Was it pretty cool?
Well, see, I watched Death Proof
It's much darker, isn't it? The short film. Well,
a little bit. So I watched Death Proof, but because in the background, Death Proof from Thanksgiving plays. So I was like, well, now I got to watch
There's
it.
the trailer. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's only like 3 minutes long. It's a little bit darker, but they still use the trampoline kill. They still use the beheading of the turkey kill. They still use a lot of kills.
All in 3 minutes?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's cut together. Really, it's interesting. It's kind of graphic. Also, they use the
I haven't seen it forever. I just remember the narrator. Thanksgiving.
yeah, and Eli Roth is in the stupid thing.
course
I
he is.
hate when he does that.
Of course he is.
He gets his head chopped off in it, so
Nice.
which
There
is
you
good.
go.
Then I watched Frances Ha for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Big fan of it. Coming of age is kind of my thing. But Greta Gerwig is really good in this. I think her timing and awkwardness is perfect. Noah Baumbach knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I wasn't sure about Greta Gerwig 'cause I've never seen her really act before. Obviously, I like some of her movies, but it's
I
like
think she was an actress first.
She
before
was.
became
Yeah,
an
she
actor.
was.
Yeah, I haven't seen her. In
my
lots of
wife's
stuff
always
either.
like, she's an Arthur. I'm like, I've wiped Arthur out of my head. I don't
Oh,
remember.
that Russell.
Yes,
Brand? Oh my
yes.
gosh.
Wow.
But she's great in this. It's a great coming of age story. It's just like how everyone around her succeeding, she's failing, and her awkwardness is perfect. I really do like it. It's become one of my favorite coming of age. I watched that Portrait of God you talked about.
Oh
it's
yeah,
like 7
the
minutes
short
long.
film.
I put on my letterbox it with the right director and right production company, not Blumhouse. This could be a legit full-length film.
It could be really good. Yeah.
It's a good 7 minutes. It's a gripping 7 minutes. It's better than the 2 movies Blumhouse put out this year. So,
Yeah, it is.
no offense, Blumhouse.
You
but
could really dive into the story some more and make it. I mean, I think I've thought about that 7-minute short film more than I have almost any horror movie I've watched in a while.
Night
so.
Swim, especially. Anyways,
Yeah, Night Swim.
then I watched a French film came out. So technically last year, but it came out in the U.S. this year. So I counted for this year. Because it came out in March.
Semantics, yeah.
Yeah, it's the Animal Kingdom. This is where the world is mutating, where people are turning into animals, and slowly. But then, of course, they're ostracized, and you follow the kid and his dad, and the kid is slowly turning into a animal. And it's interesting. It lacks a little bit.
Basically, the mutants. Is saying.
Yeah, it reminds me. Well, yeah, I guess, but it's good. It just lacks a little bit. The narrative's kind of all over the place, but it is good. The visuals are actually pretty good for a low budget French film. It reminds me kind of like Raw is a low budget French film. It reminds me of the same thing, but Raw's a lot better. But anyways, I've always wanted to watch it. And it finally popped up in the U.S.
And
So
not to be confused with the TV show Animal Kingdom on TNT.
yes,
maybe
it's
2 years
the
ago.
Animal Kingdom film.
Quite a bit different. Yeah.
Then I watched Eden Lake. This has been on my thing forever to watch.
I've seen that poster a
Michael
1,000 times.
Fassbender. The poster's heard on a tree.
Yeah.
This is basically just like there's a bunch of kids. I had to turn on the subtitles. This is like deep London. I couldn't understand a thing the kids were saying.
Could you try to just hit me with?
No,
your,
I
hit me with
I
your
can't
best,
do that. But like
hit me with your best Cockney accent.
every single time the kids talked, I was like, so I had to put on subtitles because like I couldn't understand what he was saying. Michael Fassbender's in it. He's pretty good. It is just wrong place, wrong time. His kids suck.
Yeah.
Michael Fassbender is like, I'm an adult, whatever, and then they just hunt them. The movie is not very good, sadly. It was good until the end. The end, they kind of justify the kids. So by the end, I was like, all right, whatever. So it was good until then.
I'm still waiting for your British accent.
Then I watched Dr. Strangelove or How I Learned to Stop Worrying with Local
Yeah.
Bomb. Been a long time.
Oh man, yeah.
I'm
Kubrick, yeah.
going through Kubrick right now also because I haven't watched a lot of his films really. I mean, I've watched some, the normals. I'm trying to go through. I haven't seen them forever. Really, really, really good.
It's
Obviously,
awesome,
a
yeah.
great satirical look at nuclear holocaust and how
And
the
war and
government.
everything,
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
really good. And Peter Sellers is just great in all three roles. I don't know.
He
I
is
really
great.
Like
Yeah.
it. Two more, and then I watched Scorsese's After Hours. I've never seen it.
I've never seen that one either. That's one of the few
Very
Scorseses I
good.
haven't seen.
Very, very good. This is just the most unlucky guy in the world. He literally every corner is just death or a mob or like, and everything's blamed on him.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's the guy from American Werewolf in London. Not
Can't
the one
remember
that
his name.
turns into the wolf. What's
The
his
other guy.
name? Yeah.
Super unlucky. So he's like Tobey Maguire in
It's
Spider-Man
Griffin
2.
Dunn.
That's how
Yeah.
unlucky he is.
Pretty much, yeah. Really, really good though. Scorsese knows what he's doing. It's an underrated one. It's not like what you expect from him.
Yeah.
Like Shutter Island's really weird. This is really weird too, but like it's kind of he's kind of getting into his weirdness in this, and I really do like it. It's
What year did that come out?
85.
3, 4. Oh, 5.
85. So it's right in there. The last one, me and my wife went and watched Godzilla Kong New Empire last night. She didn't watch it. We went to our drive-in and watched it. So
Oh, okay. Did she have fun with it? That's the important.
She did. My Letterboxd review this time was Big Ape and Big Lizard fight, Big Red Ape and Big Ice Lizard. Me like. So I put a more in-depth one, but that
was
is
nice. Me like.
I think that pretty much encapsulates
Nice
the movie.
synopsis there.
Still have a 4-star. I still loved it. Knowing what's coming up was even more fun. Knowing that Godzilla about to suplex King Kong was so much fun. He dove into the water and Emma goes, "Oh my gosh!" And I was like, "Pretty good dive though, right?" She goes, "Yeah, it's pretty good."
He's got great form.
Yeah.
Give him a 10.
That's what I watched this week. Though I'm trying to dive into all those like classic directors I haven't seen things from.
Yeah,
I'm
you
almost
should.
done with Wes Anderson, so I'm excited to
gotcha.
get done with him.
There's, it's funny how you said that. I was thinking the other day. There's a couple of Kubrick films that I still need to see, like Paths of Glory and The Killing. I think are two Kubrick
Yeah.
films I've never seen.
Yeah.
And I really
The rest
haven't.
of them I've seen.
I was going through Scorsese. I'm like, gosh, I've not seen a lot of these. So I'm gonna start just diving into some of my. I don't think Scorsese is my favorite director of all time, but like some of the greats, I should say.
Yeah,
Maybe not my personal, but he has made great movies. After Hours is not his normal, so if you're into like his normal stuff, it's well directed, but it's very different.
Yeah.
He goes to Soho. It's just really good. I would definitely watch it. So that's what we watched this week. Let us know if you've seen any of those movies, if you like any of those movies. Let us know if you want us to watch any movie. If you want us to watch a certain movie, we'll make a whole episode over that possibly, and we'll review it. I think that'd be a cool idea if someone out there would want us to watch a movie. We'll do our best.
Especially
So,
if something we've never seen. you know?
yeah. Make it obscure-ish. We've seen a lot of movies. Nothing too bad, please. But because there's some bad movies out there. But if you actually like it, we'll do our thing. Okay, so we ended last time. We're gonna go into our review. We ended last time with Namor Fall. Solid ending, right? We're gonna
Yep. Absolutely.
solid start with Hypnotic.
Yeah.
Hypnotic was horrible. Ben Affleck, he does this thing. He's good in everything, pretty much. You know,
He
he's
didn't
not
phone it in. Really.
he's not great in this, but the idea is there. But it's like an hour and a half long. Should have been like 2:15 probably. It's cut to death. It's just not very good.
Yeah,
it makes zero sense by the end.
Yeah, Hypnotic is a film that thankfully really came and went. Nobody really saw it. It came out the weekend after Guardians 3, so nobody really talked about it.
It went straight to like something. I don't
No, it
like-
went to theaters, and then it
Did
went to
it?
Peacock shortly afterwards. Yeah. But yeah, it's an interesting premise. Like I see what Robert Rodriguez is going for here, but after like the 48th plot twist, I don't care about any of it. It's just a train wreck, dude.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, it was rough to watch, man. Like you say, concept was fantastic. I thought
Inception.
I
look
thought,
at
yeah,
it.
if they got somebody behind it where they really eked out some of these ideas, man, it might have been really, really good. Like I said, the acting was good, but oh my gosh, it fell apart.
It feels cut to death.
Yeah,
it felt
it-
like it was a 2:15, 2:20 movie, and they're like, if that's not going to sell, we're going to make
Yeah,
it a bad hour and a
It
half.
just completely fell apart.
It's interesting that they can hypnotize people. Like I think it's interesting. It's not well done.
No,
Next is a live action Little Mermaid. Anybody else watch this?
I did not.
I think I did.
No. It is better than I thought it would be.
Oh no, I never actually got around to this. Sorry,
What's
go
her name? Haley Bailey or
Haley
something. It's like
Bailey.
close to Halle Berry's. Why?
It is. I think it's Haley
Haley Bailey.
Yes.
She is actually pretty good. She's got a good voice.
I heard it was pretty good.
Javier Bardem's phoning in the king, man. I mean, he's a great actor. He's phoning it in.
He is.
It's just visually bad. Like you want these to be good, either
Oh,
it's
is the
just,
CGI
it's
never-
visually horrible.
Yeah.
But the movie itself is it's pretty much a cut for cut, and they add a couple songs.
It seems
It's like 45 minutes longer than the original.
Yeah, they add a couple songs. They add a couple they make some scenes just longer.
Yeah.
Well,
know
it
what I'm
seems like
saying?
a kind of a common theme with
Yeah.
Disney and Marvel with as far as the CGI goes here. Lately.
Melissa McCarthy might be the best part. She was good as the
Yeah,
whatever
that's
her
good.
name is. I don't know.
Ursula.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the original, so I wasn't. So my wife picked this. We have a movie nights and we take our turns, and she picked this a while back. So I have to watch it because she has to watch what I say.
My
So,
wife and kids went and saw this, and I went and saw The Machine, so I never got around to seeing it in theaters.
I don't know. I didn't watch The Machine, but I don't know. I think this one has higher ratings. Funny you say that. Next one is The Machine.
The Machine.
Is it really?
Which I didn't watch.
I think you're the only one who watched it.
This is one of the ones I did not watch.
This is the Burt Kreischer movie where they took a 10-minute
5
story.
minute- yeah.
They took a 10-minute story that he tells in his stand-up bit, which is a great story. It's very funny, and they stretch it into an hour and 50-minute movie. Dear God! Now he has Mark Hamill who plays his dad. There's some fun. There's a couple of moments that had me dying laughing. The rest of it, I just didn't really find that funny. I felt like it was kind of flat. I felt like the action was very well done whenever action shows up, surprisingly. But beyond that, it just fell really flat. And at the end of it, I just thought, meh. Like, why was it so freaking long? It could have been a 60-minute movie. But I guess you can have a worse time, but it's not very good.
I almost watched it, but it went to streaming. But you said it wasn't worth it, so I didn't watch it.
Not really, no.
Yeah. Next is Asteroid City, the newest Wes Anderson film, which has every person under the sun in
Yeah,
it.
it does.
This one is very good. I think that it was one of my favorites until I watched Grand Budapest, because I hadn't seen Grand Budapest. But this one was one of my favorites. No, it's not. But cool concept that they're in a play, but you don't see the actual play. You see it as a thing, and it's got a cool alien aspect. It's got great performances. Swartzen, what's his first name? Jason Schwartzman.
Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah, Jason.
He's kind of growing on me the more I watch Wes Anderson's movies. He's in every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so the more I watch him in these movies, the more I like him. I haven't liked him in anything else. But in these movies, he seems to work with the narrative of how Wes Anderson works. Big fan of this one, though. So I liked it quite a bit.
Did not watch it.
You should. You should.
Did not watch it.
It was actually really good. Wes Anderson, as far as his humor is what it's that dry sense of humor that just kind of comes out in every movie. It seems like the acting was great. I love the aesthetic of this movie, just his sets, the way it looked. It was fantastic. And it was just a fun movie to watch. So yeah, it was great.
Yeah, back to back. French Dispatch is really good, and this is really good. So I have not disliked a Wes Anderson movie. I've only got 2 left. So he's a solid filmmaker.
I agree. Yeah.
If you like
I
his
was gonna
style.
say he's not necessarily he's not my cup of tea, I guess, but I understand why people like that.
Yeah, every single movie's been
It's
solid.
almost you have to really get behind that humor, especially. It's just
Yeah,
If you can't,
he just tries. He's just so impossibly quirky.
Next we have When Evil Lurks. Did you watch this?
I
Matt?
did not get around to this. I wanted to see it.
This is a foreign film. They're speaking Spanish, but they're not in.
Is it like
Mexico.
Argentina or
Yeah, it's like
Brazil?
Argentina.
You might be
No,
Argentina.
Okay,
but it's
sorry.
like Argentina. This movie is really, really good. I think it's the best horror movie of the year. It deals with like these basically people have forsaken religion so bad that the churches became so bad that the earth has been left to demons, and demons can be born through people. This movie, there's like a certain amount of rules to get a demon in place, and you just follow this. You follow a family trying to not let a demon go into the world, and by the end, you can see that this world is it's like an apocalyptic world because like basically they're saying the churches were so bad that God and everything has left the earth to evil. That's why when evil lurks. But it's a very gruesome, grisly movie. Very good.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a different take on like a demon possession type movie that is so well done. I mean, I had no expectation going into this one because I hadn't really heard of it. I knew it was Spanish speaking, so I wasn't sure. and it looks, it's fairly low budget, I'm guessing.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. And man, it hit me over the head. It was fantastic. It is by far for me the best horror movie of the year.
Yeah.
In its brutality, the storytelling, it was fantastic. That brutality, it just took me out of left field. I was like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah.
And it is so good. You really ought to watch it, man.
Yeah, it's a
It is-
Shudder thing.
I
It's good.
very well might.
I don't know how much you like this, but I'll give props to any movie that'll kill a kid.
That's true.
I know how much you say that. This movie, no one's safe.
If you kill a kid, that gets a whole other letter grade
And
bump up.
it was brutal, man.
It's a brutality to.
Sounds like I hate kids. Just
Yeah.
nobody does it.
I know. I mean, it's a hard step to take, but it's one you should take
right.
in a horror movie, not in real life. Next we have Extraction 2. I watched this back to back with Extraction because I'd never seen Extraction, and this is when my son was in the hospital and I was at home, and so I was just like by myself and I watched a bunch of movies. And so I watched Extraction 2. This one, I don't want to say it's better than the first one, but I think the action's a little better, and there's a cool one shot and like making like a Raid 2 scene kind of. I don't know. It's kind of dumb, yes, but I think it's a really good action movie. We don't get a lot of good action movies anymore other than like the John Wicks and stuff. So it's nice to get a really good action movie that goes to Netflix, I think, right?
Yeah.
Kind of hard to get those now. So I really enjoyed this. I'd watch it over and over again. I think for fun, dumb times.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah, no, I think Extraction 2 is a slight improvement over the first one, mainly because it has a more human story that I felt was a little bit more gripping. But yeah, there's just countless action sequences in this that just grab you and just shake you senseless.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's a really fun, really thrilling ride. And I'm just the only thing I didn't like really is that Chris Hemsworth didn't leave any charisma for the rest of us. You know,
I know. Andrew Elba's kind of wasted, but it's fine.
Kind of. Yeah, he's very wasted.
He's in a lot of his movies.
wanted a paycheck, dog.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, I'd go with one or two. Actually, they're both really good.
We're making a 3. So.
Are they fantastic movies? No. If you want a great action movie, yes.
Yeah.
The reality, the fighting looks so real. It's kind of one of those John Wick things.
Yeah.
They brought it to Netflix, and Chris Hemsworth's just fantastic in it. So yeah, it's a good watch.
I was worried from the trailers because Netflix. Chris Hemsworth's great and all, but it's like Netflix over the top. It was good though.
No, it delivered. Yeah.
The reason it's such a great action film is because it's I can't remember the director's name, but it's like the stunt man turned director, kind of like with the John Wick film.
Wick,
Yep. When the stunt guys turn directors, they make these incredible action films.
Absolutely.
Next, we have Shooting Stars, the kind of biopic of LeBron James growing up. It's not really at the same time. It's more about his relations growing up, which I think is better than what I thought it was going to be. I thought I was just going to be watching him become great at basketball,
Yeah.
and you do.
This was a straight to Peacock movie, so
yeah,
not
and
a
you
ton of people saw
do
it. Yeah.
kind of see that, but like you more see his relationships and how his mom and his friends kind of boost him to where he was, because he starts to get into like partying and stuff, and then his coach and everything's like, look, you could be something. Stop. It was actually a lot better than I thought it'd be. I don't know. I'm not a huge LeBron fan. He plays on my team. I'm not a big fan. So.
Yeah, I watched it too. I was just curious. And yeah, it is more. It's as far as sports biopic goes, it's not groundbreaking, but at the same time, it's well told. It's well acted. It's a decent story about his life, his friends, his family. Yeah, I was expecting it to be just a freaking highlight reel for LeBron just jamming
dunking
dunks
it.
on everybody, but it's not that. So yeah, it wasn't bad.
Did
I didn't get around to it.
It's not something that I would say you want to watch. I mean, unless you're a huge LeBron fan, it's just something that I was like, well, I'm going to tick it off the list.
If you
And
adore every kind
yeah.
of sports movie, then yeah, check it out. But
I
it's
like sports movies. I'm just not a big LeBron fan, so
Yeah.
I just
Yeah, it's not, and there's not a ton of sports in it. I mean, I don't know how to explain. It's not your normal biopic. Next, we have Indiana Jones, and I put in the unneeded sequel. I don't remember what it's called. Dial of Destiny. I hated this,
That's
really.
true.
We've already talked about this a lot. This is one of my least favorite movies of the year. Unneeded.
Yep.
The score was great. John Williams cooks as usual.
as usual.
But I mean, it's just so unneeded. Yeah, he just
Yeah,
feels old too, because he
Dial-
is.
Yeah, the Dial of Destiny. I felt like there was two people who were trying with this. I feel like Harrison Ford and John Williams were trying.
Yeah.
The rest, the story's not the best. I didn't hate it. I was just disappointed. You know what I
It just
mean?
sucks when you waste another Mads Mikkelsen. You just
Wait,
waste him.
He actually wasn't bad.
But yeah, but he's wasted.
he wasn't. Well, when he plays a villain in anything from
Yeah.
like Doctor Strange to whatever, he's
Oh, he's-
wasted.
he's-
He's wasted 100%. But I didn't hate this. The third act really lost
Makes
me.
zero sense.
But I think the final scene where he reunites with Marion is
Yeah.
beautiful. I think that's well done.
Let's
The-
end it.
The rest, yeah,
We're done.
That's done right there. That's a perfect way to end it. But
Let's
Let's bring Shia back.
but
Bring
the,
him back.
Probably should have been the movie.
the final 3 minutes I thought was beautiful. The hour and 45 preceding that I thought was a mess. So.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, I did not like this movie. I didn't find anything redemption in any type of redemption. I don't understand why they did it. I don't
Oh.
understand why.
Well, I understand.
Yeah, I know.
The money, baby.
money,
Didn't even make
Didn't make
money,
money.
money, but they lost money. So it just didn't work. And
Yeah.
we did a whole podcast on this, so I won't
Yeah,
say much. But
we rip it
but
pretty hard.
for me, the movie was boring. I mean, it
Right.
just didn't do anything. It didn't go anywhere. Yeah, the last 3 minutes were great, but I could have skipped. If I were to ever watch it again, I'd skip the last 3 minutes. I mean, that'd be
Yeah,
it. I
it
mean,
has its moments in between with Mads just beating up the screen, I guess. But
Mhm.
yeah, if they do more, I hope they just do Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
They're talking. He's basically in a Jones Jurassic World movie.
The
so.
opening's not bad. I remember whenever it starts like in the 1940s or
just
whatever.
The face, I don't
Because
love.
that's old school Indiana Jones when he's just fighting
Yeah.
Nazis. That's
Yeah.
what everybody loves.
Score in the back. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
great.
But the CGI was wonky.
and
but-
job
Yeah.
dropped off and just got so boring.
It does, yeah, it drags.
Yeah.
Next, we have No Hard Feelings. This is a new
yes.
Jennifer Lawrence
I
movie.
haven't watched this yet.
Comedy. It's actually better than I thought it'd be. Now, is it good? Nah, but it's a solid. Like I think I gave it 3.5 Letterboxd. A solid movie. I mean, it has its funny parts. It has the main guy, and it's pretty good too. I think he'll be in a lot more stuff. Normal story, kind of just parents hire her to basically make him a man before he goes to college, and he thinks that she's
As your
kidnapped.
parents do.
Yeah. Anyways, he thinks she's kidnapping her. Some funny stuff, or him. Funny stuff happens. It has a very basic ending. You can probably tell what the ending is right now, but they both grow from it. So I don't know. I enjoyed the time I watched it.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good comedy.
I might never watch it again.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty decent comedy. That's it.
That's about it. Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot. Jennifer Lawrence is fun and likable, but yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
See, I own it. Just haven't watched it yet.
You bought it?
Yeah,
I don't know what
it was on sale.
I
Okay.
went to good old Flixnet.
Was that where it was?
Netflix, yeah. That's
I-
where I found it.
I watched it on Streaming too. I think I watched it on Hulu. I swear I watched it. It doesn't matter.
iTunes.
It does not matter.
iTunes had it for like $4.99. So
You're just throwing $5 bills everywhere.
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Next we have
Throw some my way. Go ahead.
Next, we have the Passion Project, Maestro.
Mm.
This
Yes.
movie isn't bad. It's just not what Bradley Cooper wanted it to be, I don't think. He is good in it, but I think he didn't put Carey Mulligan in it enough. She's probably the best part. His nose looks great. And he does a good job.
Focus
He
on
is
the nose.
he is a good director, I think. I think he does good stuff. It's just a slight bit pretentious for me. Just a little bit. He is in the screen a lot when the better actress is not in it
A
as
wee
much.
bit.
Anyways, I enjoyed it, though.
I think this is a film you can tell Bradley Cooper really wanted to make. He has
0 Oscars.
You can tell he went home empty-handed at the Academy Awards.
Once
but that's
again.
not the point. You can tell this is a film that he had a lot of care and a lot of true compassion for making this film. So hats off to him. You can tell it's by somebody who really cared. We get a lot of paycheck movies nowadays. He really and truly cared. I think it's very well made. I think it's very, very well acted. Bradley Cooper's great. Carey Mulligan's very good. It's just not really for me. It's not really my thing. It is a little pretentious.
When
It's
he
just
was
pretty-
sweaty at the end, I'm like, that's
it's
pretty
just,
good.
It's just pretty pretentious, you
Yeah.
know. But again, I respect him for making the
Yeah.
film he wanted to make. It's very, very well made. I would probably watch 48 million movies again before I'd rewatch this. But
Yeah.
I hadn't watched it yet.
You might like because of the music aspect
the
of
music's very, very good in it.
it. He's
yeah.
a composer and
Well,
he's
I
good.
I love the music thing.
The music's very good, but yeah.
It's just like I've been so drawn to Carey Mulligan's movies. Like she's been in so much stuff.
She's
Like
great.
she's in Wildlife and stuff. She's so good every time she's on screen. I was like,
Yeah.
use her more, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, next we have Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. We did a whole thing on this. It's a
We
great
did.
movie. I don't know if we all still are the same way. I think all of us liked Into the Spider-Verse a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a part one. Part ones have that problem when they don't actually end.
Right.
Right? So super good. It looks great. It's funny. It's just like the first one. They add more Spider-Man. I don't know how to explain it better,
Yeah.
but it's super good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, it's great. It's emotional. It's very well done. Great story. It's technically beautiful, dazzling to look at.
always got a good soundtrack.
Only negative is until the other one comes out, it's just half a movie. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean this was fun to watch. I love the art in this movie. The different styles that they took.
Yes.
It's stunning to look at.
Mhm.
The story was great. love how they brought in the other Spider-Man. So it was fun to watch.
I couldn't believe it won the Oscar. I mean, I know that The Boy and the Heron did. I'd actually haven't got to watch it. It's still not out for
Yeah.
us because Japan hates
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
us. But anyways,
That and Godzilla -1.
Japan hates.
I watched that one. I went and watched that one.
They're
but
still
yes.
holding it. Did you see that Oppenheimer finally opened in Japan
Really?
to mixed reception?
I wonder why.
You don't say.
They're like, I hate Cillian Murphy. By the way, he won for it to Japan. Next, we have Strays, the new Will Ferrell, Jamie Foxx comedy where they're dogs.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of jokes that are funny, a lot of jokes that aren't. I had a good time with it. It's a dumb comedy.
fun with it,
Never
yeah.
watched it again.
A lot of penis jokes.
I hope you like wiener jokes.
Because they have them.
That's my review. I hope you like wiener jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have fun with it.
You can.
It's fun, raunchy, but it's
It's like, what if Homeward Bound was R?
basically
Michael
yeah.
J. Fox is cussing instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't sit well with me. I didn't
Yeah.
care for it a whole lot.
A great Dennis Quaid cameo.
Is it?
I think it's pretty good.
Like, I'm looking at birds. There's nothing in this freaking thing.
Some of
I'm Dennis Quaid. I've seen some crazy stuff.
some of the humor was okay, but then the rest just didn't land with me. So.
Yeah. I always
Yeah.
like Will Ferrell, though. His voice, everything. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll probably watch it again. I say that. I had a good time with it.
I could
but-
see myself watching it again, actually, but
I would-
it's just dumb. It's just dumb penis jokes
I'd never
for an
watch-
hour 40 minutes.
I'd never watch it again.
Next, we have the newest iteration of the trying to make a good movie of The Boogeyman. Now, is this the... I think The Babadook is a Boogeyman movie, personally.
Yeah, I would-
So I think that's the best one.
I would say so.
It's a Boogeyman-like movie, but there's not been a good Boogeyman movie that's called Boogeyman. This one's better than the other one.
The other ones, yeah.
This one, it's just PG-13, and so it's like it's so hard. It is scary at times. It is creepy, but it's hard to do everything you need at PG-13. If this is rated R, you do a little bit more, it has a chance. It is entertaining. I might watch it again just because it's short, and I might need to watch it again. But I remember thinking it was okay.
Yeah,
You know,
I
it wasn't
think-
bad.
No, it was not bad. I think it's just super average
Yep.
horror movie fare is what it is.
I agree.
It's not bad. It's not great. It's just super duper average. That's
Yeah.
put that on the Dadgum Blu-ray box. Super
Yeah.
duper average. I think they do some really interesting things with the cinematography and the lighting and things like that of the boogeyman hiding in the dark and things like that. I don't like when they actually show the boogeyman, the creature, and everything
He's weird.
loses something for me. And also, they determine in this film the boogeyman does not like the lights. Turn on the effing lights.
Yeah.
Turn on the lights. They never once do it. I'm just going to sit here with a strand of Christmas lights. Turn on the freaking lights. Good Lord.
I know.
Anyway, beyond that, though, it's not bad.
Yeah,
So you love it. That's what you're saying.
it's not a bad movie.
It's not bad. I just thought that was stupid.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I thought it was just okay.
Exactly.
They're not-
Just okay.
They're not reinventing the wheel here. It's just, you've seen most of the stuff
Boogeyman.
before. Like you said, some of the cinematography is better than some of the other ones, but this is just, it's okay.
I like
There's
the
like
red
that red
lights.
orb
Yeah,
that
I
they
like
toss around
that.
that adds this
Yeah.
cool mood
It's
and
just
whatnot.
like
It's just like your typical boogeyman. It's just not.
I don't know how they're
It's
gonna
okay.
do better with the boogeyman. They just need
No.
to leave it alone, I guess. Like
Yeah.
there's just never been like they can't get a good look at what the boogeyman looks like. Every single one looks bad. The Babadook looks cool, I guess, but I think he's a boogeyman type thing. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's not really been a good boogeyman movie.
No.
Other than that one, if you call it. Next we have Flash. Hated this.
Yeah.
I didn't like this a lot. I don't want to say hated, but I didn't like it. I laughed at it more because of how bad it looked. The baby seems ridiculous. The CGI in this is just so bad. And then I watched Godzilla -1, and it's so crazy how much better it looks with like a
Fraction
$50
of the
million
budget,
budget
yeah.
compared to 250. Ezra Miller, bad guy, turns out he's good, and he's pretty good. He's a good actor. I think they made a bad choice with using another actor as his double and putting his face on him. Don't know why they did that. It looks strange the whole time.
Oh, yeah. I even forgot about that.
They can do it in The Parent Trap in like the 90s, but they can't do it now.
Right.
Ridiculous. Whatever it came out. They did it in the original too, I think.
Yeah, they did it back in the 60s.
Yeah, exactly. So it's stupid, bad choice. Michael Keaton's cool. He's good in it, I guess.
Yeah, I think the cameos in the Flash
Except for the last one.
are fun, but they amount to nothing at the end of the day. They amount to absolutely nothing. I think the film shines when it's just a simple story about Barry Allen and about his family. That's the heart of the movie right there.
Right.
And there's some moments that I was laughing at, some moments that I enjoyed, but overall I just went, why? Why was it hyped up so much? Why was it some of the worst CGI you will ever see in your entire life is in this film? I mean,
That's sad.
it's yeah.
Especially with that kind of budget. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was reworked a bunch. So the budget was so high too.
Yeah,
I think.
this
But
movie
gosh,
was. I did not care for this movie. As soon as I saw the baby scene, I was like, "You got to be kidding me!"
That's a pretty solid way to
and
start.
that's the first part of the movie.
It's like,
Put a baby in a microwave.
seriously, that was. And I did enjoy seeing Michael Keaton on the screen again as Batman.
He's pretty good, I guess.
yeah.
But besides that, I didn't care for this movie at all.
Who's a better CGI baby? This is an important question.
Twilight's better.
I was just
Rosemary, Rose Baby, whatever her name is. Renesmee Baby is
Edward
better.
and Bella's baby in Twilight, or
They
the
just-
baby in the microwave in Flash.
It's like they took my face and put it on that baby, like in Twilight. It's bad.
It's so scary. It's not even meant to be terrifying. That baby is horrific.
this looks
Yeah.
like this one looks like a little elastic baby's going all over the place. It's
Yeah.
bad. I don't know.
They just look like rubber in the Flash.
Which movie's better, that or the Twilight series? I
Oh,
don't know.
gosh.
The last Twilight movie's not that bad. The last Twilight movie's not that bad. Okay, the rest
Is it though?
I don't like it.
That's a story for
Part
another
2, of course.
Yeah.
Next, we have Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
day. Yawn.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
This sadly is one of the worst Transformers, but has some of the best Transformer fighting in it. Don't know how they figured that out. One of the worst narratives, but I think as far as Transformer v Transformer, it has some of the best fighting in it. They went back to like the old style Optimus Prime. I like the new looks, I don't like the main actor that much. I haven't liked him in anything.
I like him.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything I've liked
Anthony
him
Ramos.
in. Yeah. Anyways, this movie, Yawn Fest. It is setting up though. Been confirmed at CinemaCon.
Yeah.
Next year.
Yes, yesterday is. Ready for this? Transformers and G.I. Joe are mashing. I want Snake Eyes to ride Optimus Prime. That's what I want. You better give it to me. Anyway, this movie kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's not directed by Michael Bay, so there's a certain
There's no drone
visual-
shots. That's nice.
There's a certain visual flair that I kind of like. There's a couple of okay action sequences, like you were saying. Didn't do anything for me. Didn't do
My
anything
son
for me at
liked
all.
it. That's
I
why we
just-
watched it.
After I watched it, I went, meh.
It came to Prime. He's like, "Can we watch this?" I said, "Nah, sure."
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, this movie's just okay.
They haven't made a good one since the first one.
That's what I was about to say.
Just lifeless.
I haven't really liked this series,
Bumblebee's
since,
good.
this franchise since the first one.
Yeah.
I really just haven't found one that I really enjoy.
But even that one's not great.
Yeah, no, it's not. But yeah, this was it was kind of boring. It was just, I don't know. I watched it. It was okay. I'll never watch it again.
Unlike Pete Davidson, baby, being a robot.
Yeah.
So,
I forgot he was in that. Thanks for
Yeah.
reminding me, Jordan. Now I hate it even more.
next, we have Still, a Michael J. Fox movie. This is a
I
documentary.
never got around to this.
It's very good. Good documentary. I don't know how I didn't get nominated for a documentary.
Yeah, I agree.
Whatever. But
yeah, I heard it was a pretty big snub.
Michael J. Fox is really good in it. He's just telling his story, about how he
He's
came,
good at playing himself.
how he became to fame so fast, how he got there, how he got the disease, how he basically hid the disease for many years, no one knew, and then the disease took over his life. But then he got back. It's really good. Like it's especially if you like Michael J. Fox. If
Yeah.
you don't like him that much, you might not like this. I don't know. But it's super good. Good documentary.
Yeah, I mean, I've followed his career since the '80s.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm sure. What I loved about this documentary is you got to see a more human side of him, where he makes fun of the disease
Yeah, he does.
on a daily basis. As far as he's always falling and bumping into stuff, and he makes fun of himself. Doing these things. He makes other people feel better about it because they
That's
feel
good.
because they feel
he can
uncomfortable.
find levity in it.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Because they feel uncomfortable around him a lot of times. He told a story about how he fell outside and some lady was like, "Oh my gosh!" and he just made a joke about it, and got up, and it was you see a real human side of this, and I thought the documentary was really well done. I'm really surprised it wasn't nominated,
Stupid.
but really enjoyed it.
I really wanted to watch it. I just didn't want to watch it enough to renew my Apple Plus subscription.
Makes sense. That $5, man. Next, we have Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. It's a year of Part 1s, baby.
It is, man.
Super good. It's good. All Mission Impossible movies are good except for 2. Mission Impossible 2 is what I mean by that.
Yes.
They're all solid except for the second one, and I guess some people like that one. But
That's got its fans.
this one is a little bit of a fall off from Fallout. I think Fallout's the best one. It's hard because Fallout, Rogue Nation, all those are all of them are
Yeah,
good.
this one's tough because literally the last entry was the best in the franchise.
I think all of us think that. I
Yeah,
don't know if
I'd
you
say
think
so,
okay.
yes.
Yeah, Fallout's mostly everyone's favorite. I've seen on the internet too. It is fine. I don't love the AI thing. I don't mind AI.
See,
I don't
like
love
that quite a bit actually.
I don't love the bad thing being AI. I think it has some cool aspects with Sean Pegg and stuff, and Haley Atwell steals the whole dang thing. She's really
She's
good
great,
in it.
yeah.
and they just it's still a good ride. It's a little long, I guess, but Tom Cruise is always killing it. These movies are always pretty good. It's just part one, so it doesn't feel by the end.
At least this one, like
a little bit cohesive.
I was gonna say they at least wrap up the story that they told. Now, granted, there are some loose ends that you can definitely explore in the future, but they at least wrap up the story that they told. It's not just like dun 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 in credits. You know what I mean?
Someone's falling.
Yeah, it's nothing like that, which I'm grateful for. But I really enjoyed this. I'm a huge Mission Impossible fan. You know, I'm a big Tommy Boy fan, big Tom Cruise fan.
Absolutely.
But,
and the movie Tommy Boy.
and the movie Tommy Boy. That's right. I had a really good time with this. I really like the AI villain. I don't know why. To me, it just feels like such a relevant, technological, terrifying, real world kind of villain. I don't know. I can see why you don't really dig it, but I really enjoyed it. I think the possibilities are kind of endless there. It's just a really solid. There's some really flat out incredible action sequences in this. Yeah, it's just a good. I think the only really negative is that there's probably like 10 minutes too much of exposition. But the rest of that I think is really solid.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this movie. Anywhere from just the action scenes to the car chases. The car chase was fun. That was a great chase scene.
Yeah, it is.
Even the train scene was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I did like the AI aspect just because it feels like it's a bad guy that you can't stop. I don't like it. You know, like Mission Impossible, literally. It feels like
it is an impossible mission.
It feels like the what they can do with this is endless, boundless,
right,
and almost impossible to bring this thing in and stop it. And I think that's fantastic. I think that's a great concept, and especially nowadays where AI is pretty much taking over everything, especially artistically, even in business, they're using everything now. It just feels like it's something that we can really get behind.
I think part 2, if it's done well, could maybe like part 1 more. That's where I'm at.
I get that.
That's how it usually works. I think AI. I think if they do it right, I could like it more. But at this moment, I don't love it. I don't think it's bad.
I think it's supposed to come out next year.
Yeah. I don't think it's bad. I think it's already done. I think they shot it back to back. They was like, we're gonna wait, something like that. I don't know.
I think they were still having to finish some things up on it because the writer strike and everything screwed it all up.
That's right. Yeah. Next we have Barbie. This is the number 1 movie of the year.
This was the movie of the year, man.
Yeah, as far as box office. I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was good as everyone said. I think Ryan Gosling's great. Margot Robbie's always good. Michael Cera's pretty good in it when he's in it. It's got a lot of good people in it. It's got we talk about this too, but it's got a good narrative. They try to throw some things home. It doesn't quite hit for me. But overall, I mean, it tells a Barbie world story. It's what you want. And they made a lot of money, so...
Yeah, it made a ton of money. This was the biggest film of 2023. And you know what? I just went into it not really expecting to like it. I liked it more than I thought I would. I didn't love it over the moon because I think there's like all the stuff with Will Ferrell and everything. I don't think needs to be in the movie.
A lot, yeah.
Like, I think there's some stuff like that doesn't really need to be in the film at all. But I have to admit, like it was super imaginative. The sets, the production design, everything was really cool. It was really funny. It was very clever, very well written because it's written by Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach. It's riding a tidal wave of girl power, man. But you know what? More power to. I don't really care. You know what? I mean, like I see what they were going for, and I applaud them for it. It didn't hit it out of the park with me, but it was more fun than I thought it would be.
I'm just kidding. Great song.
Yeah. I'm like you. I went in this not expecting a whole lot, and it just didn't land with me very well. It was okay. Of course, I love Margot Robbie.
Well, you are the target audience.
Yeah, I know. I am. That's why it was so disappointing. But
Margot Robbie's great. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was Ryan Gosling's great too. I mean, it was just okay for me. I didn't hate it, but it just didn't quite land with me.
I didn't expect it to be the number 1 movie of the year, personally.
No.
Good for it. Made a lot of money.
It just caught fire, man.
Yeah.
The Barbenheimer was real.
Barbenheimer is real. Next, we have Leave the World Behind, that Netflix movie with Julia Roberts, and who else in that? Mahershala Ali. Who else in that?
Ethan Hawke.
Thank you.
Ethan
I could not get Ethan.
Kevin Bacon?
Yeah,
Yes,
he's in it, but he's his expert. I did watch this. Did you watch it?
No, I never. I heard very good things about this, except from the people in this room with me.
It not great. It's fine. I don't know. It's definitely trying to say something about the world, how it is now.
It's trying to. Yes.
The ending's weird. It's also trying to talk about like social stuff with interracial social stuff. Also, and it says what it wants to say about that. I think it's well acted. It's just kind of long. It needs to be like
Mhm.
20 minutes short, and it could be a really good movie. It's just like so much exposition dump at one point. I'm just like,
Yeah,
Kevin Bacon's just there.
that bothered me quite a bit.
It could be a good movie. I think it just needs to be cut down some. Some things should be moved around, but I don't think it's bad. Like I don't think it's just like a horrible movie.
Yeah.
But it came to Netflix. You know how that goes. So, anyways, it was all right.
Yeah, like I don't know. This one is just it was kind of strange. In this situation, this type of situation these people put in, I expected there to be more conflict, and it just wasn't there. I mean, even between the two families that were together, you expect maybe they turn on each other at a certain point or whatever. But and plus the whole conflict that actually was going on off in the distance, so it wasn't. It was more of a social commentary than anything, I think.
Yeah.
The whole Kevin Bacon scene was just a total exposition dump. It was just crazy. Did not like that at all. So it was just an average movie. It was okay. I didn't absolutely hate it, but I just did not. It's not something I'll watch again.
It was a fairly divisive movie. I
Yeah.
feel like you either liked it or you hated it. It really wasn't
Yeah.
much else. Next, we have the comedy called it was Bottoms. Anybody else watch this?
I
did not.
Did not.
It's
No, I meant to.
kind of like it's a raunchy comedy about basically a raunchy girl fight club comedy.
I heard it's pretty fun though.
It's fun. It's got one of the girls from Buys Bodies as the main girl. I don't remember her name, but it's fun. It has its moments, but it's also not fun. It's kind of over the top, and some people like that. It's a little too much for me.
I've heard
but
it's like it's almost like in a different reality. Like it's so
Yeah.
heightened and whatnot. You have to kind of suspend your disbelief.
There's a whole point where like it's all about football kind of like there's a football team, the other team is against this team, and they really make the jocks really stupid. They really heighten everything, like every stereotype, heighten it all. The cheerleaders are stupid. Everything's heightened. The other team tries to hurt the other team by like always trying to kill one of them every single time, and no one cares.
Nice.
Both sides. So like the quarterback who's a star, who's a real douche, is allergic to like pineapple or something. So they put pineapple in the, I think it's what it is. They put pineapple in the sprinklers, so they would get, so they have to stop that. That's kind of the point of the movie, is to stop them killing him, and they make a fight club. I don't know.
Wow.
I had a good time with it. It's over the top.
That's different.
Yeah, and it's got a lot of language and a lot of just imagine kind of super bad, kind of over
Just
the
a
top.
lot of raunch, man.
Yeah. Next, we have Cobweb. I was on board with this movie for 98% of it, man.
Yeah.
The last 2%, I would have preferred not to see what was behind that wall.
Yeah.
It kind of, I understand. It was honestly, I couldn't believe something that happened. It threw me a couple loops of what this kid does to the family because doesn't believe the parents.
And
the
we don't either.
The idea, we don't either.
You got the, yeah. Sorry,
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah, I mean, they're suspicious. They don't know what's going on. You don't get explained whatsoever what's behind that wall either. And it's just there. It's a weird design. I will watch it again 'cause I think it's a good movie for like 99%, 98%. So
Yeah, I really dug the tone, the atmosphere, the vibe of this film, and even in the third act, it kind of turns into a creature feature slasher film.
Kinda.
It kind of does. I was even really on board with that. It's like the last 60 seconds or so. I
No,
just
they
went.
they should just cut it.
I just went, man. I don't know, but I did enjoy. I think good performances, good tone, good atmosphere. The chick from Now You See Me and Homelander are both pretty good. Yeah, I enjoyed it I enjoyed it quite a bit, more so than I thought I would. Just the last
I know,
few
man.
shots, I'm like, didn't really care for
Take that out. I think
Took
it's
me
a
out of it, you
solid
know?
movie.
Yeah, they dropped the ball there. But overall, man, I actually enjoyed this movie. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
As far as
The
a horror,
hair, good stuff.
as far as a horror movie, wondering what's behind that wall, it's just they did a really good job as far as the execution of this movie. It's just like you said toward the end, man. It was just it fell off, it dropped off. It just wasn't.
they do a good job.
Wasn't great.
of making you think it's not even real. What's behind? You know, they do a good job.
But
It's
even though they
just-
did that, I would still watch it again.
yeah, I might give it a watch. And like I say, it's like in October. It
Right.
feels like a good October. Like
Yeah, I kind of want to rewatch
it's
it.
like an
now.
hour. It's like pretty short. I like
Halloween
those
type
short,
movie.
decent movies.
Yeah.
You can get through like 3 of them in a day sometimes, so it's
Yeah.
nice. Next, we have Haunted Mansion, the remake from Disney. It was not good.
No.
When I say that, I mean it's well acted. Lakeith Stanfield is never bad.
What
Everyone
about,
in-
what about Mr. DeVito?
he was lovely. He's always lovely, you know, like in his own way.
Yeah.
It's not a bad movie as far as that goes. It's just boring.
It's a
Like
story.
it's
and,
too
yeah.
long. We get this. Disney does it all the time. It's too long. The story is fine, I guess. It's just too long. it just I wasn't interested at all.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had no desire to see it, so I never got it. I just heard everybody just say it was fine.
Yeah, it
So-
made no money either.
It was very fine, and like you said, it was boring. They had some decent actors.
Lakeith's good, man.
Yeah, it has to do with, I guess, the script and the pacing. It was just the pacing was way off. I
Yeah.
went into it and I was like,
Surprised you watched this, David.
hey, I actually enjoyed the Eddie Murphy one. 'Cause
It's
it was
fine, yeah.
just because it was fun.
I watched when I was
okay?
younger.
It's not that it was a great movie.
No,
it was
it's
just,
bad,
It was
but-
just fun.
Yeah.
But this didn't have any of that charm. I mean, they
No,
completely
it's
left all the
pretty
charm.
lifeless.
Left all the charm outside. It was horrible. I did not like this at
I
all.
wouldn't call it horrible, but yeah,
I
I get what
didn't
you're
like
saying. I just like watching Lakeith Stanfield act. I don't know. He's just a
Yeah.
treasure, and he's good in
He
it.
is good. He's great.
When I watched Short Term 12, he's in that. His name was Keith Stanfield in that.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
put the
yeah.
"la" later on.
I think that's because he felt like Keith was.
Yeah.
His real name is Lakeith, but
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
he
yeah.
felt like Keith was more of like an actor's name. But then he's
Right.
like, who cares?
That's one of the things I noticed. Anyways,
Yeah.
Anyways, that's cool. Next we have Insidious: Red Door.
Mm-hmm.
This one is pretty decent for the franchise. It's kind of the first one, but he's just older. I mean, it's not groundbreaking. I liked it better than 3 and 4 because I'm not a
Yes.
big fan of 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I like 1 and 2 better than this, but it's a solid 5th movie to a franchise. I mean, it doesn't need to be made. No.
Nope.
Is it? Am I okay with it being made? Sure. I mean, I'll watch it again probably. It's pretty straightforward. There's not many twists and turns here. Literally, it's just all coming back to them. They kind of do the whole "we've erased your mind" thing. I don't
Right.
love that because they just want to make conflict between him and Rose Byrne, I guess. But anyways, whatever. I didn't hate it.
I didn't care for this that much. I was kind of disappointed by it. I do like the Insidious franchise quite a bit. I think it's the second worst one behind 4. I think that one's still worse. But again, I like all of them. But for the fifth installment of a horror franchise, as far as fifth installment of horror franchises go, it's pretty good. I
Yeah.
think Patrick Wilson does a fairly good job with his directorial debut. I think there's some interesting things in it, some creepy moments and whatnot. It still has the same feel, the same tone of the other films, which I enjoy. It's just same crap, different day, man. It's just stuff we've seen 1,000 times, except this time Dalton is a really mopey teenager that we
And he
get to
can
hang
draw.
around. We get to hang around with for 75 freaking minutes
Yeah.
of him just being mopey and being unlikable for the
Yeah.
entire time. Beyond that, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it was an okay movie. Not the worst one in the franchise by far. I just, like you said, it was nothing new. Again, not reinventing the wheel. They did have some cool concepts in it that I enjoyed, but it was just okay. I mean,
Right,
it was
right.
just if you enjoy this franchise, you'll probably enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
But if not, then you might just skip it.
I'm the same. I don't know what
Now
to
they're
say.
making Thread, which is a Insidious story, I think.
Oh, I haven't seen
Something
anything
like
about
that.
Haven't
Some
seen
kind
that
of
either.
like Insidious.
I'm not
spin-off,
surprised.
yeah.
It's a cool world.
universe.
It's just
Yeah.
if you can do good by it. I mean, we don't need any more Annabelles or anything like that. So, from that world. Next, we have the movie of the year, the Oscar winner of the year, Oppenheimer. Big fan of this. Cillian Murphy's great. Nolan's my favorite director, so he's gonna bring it. It's a little long, sure, but I don't think so. It's 3 hours, but I don't think so. I think the end sequence between him and the sign, I don't want to say too much, it's pretty new, but the very end sequence of what he says is just wonderful. It's just well done.
I think
Killian's
everybody's
great.
seen this at this point,
Yeah,
though.
RDJ is obviously one. He obviously won for it. He's
Right.
great. Love this movie. It's just, and no CGI in this movie
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
is impressive, and they show explosions. It's just so impressive, man. Every single time I watch a Nolan film, I'm in awe. Every single time.
Yeah, man, what is there to say about Oppenheimer that hasn't already been said, you
Yeah.
know? But
great.
that being said, yeah, I think Oppenheimer is a monumental achievement any way you look at it. The film is more informative than it is explosive, but that's okay. It's an authentic experience, an interesting experience. I learned so much watching this film, and I thought I knew of a lot about the Manhattan Project. I
Yep.
was wrong. It's just a remarkable film with Cillian Murphy is subtle yet very powerful in this film. You're right. Robert Downey Jr. is great. Emily Blunt's great. Josh Hartnett's great. I mean, great
I don't think I've
performances.
ever heard that
I
before
can't.
in a sentence, but
But it's
I
true.
can't
This
think
one,
of a
pretty good in
film.
it.
I can't think of a film that's basically. I mean, it's technically dazzling, but I can't think of a film that has a better cast
Right.
Period. Like as far as like, there's just a ridiculous amount of Oscar winners in this.
This is the end. Is pretty
Just
good
a
too.
ridiculous amount of Oscar winners. I can't think of a film that has a better cast. Oppenheimer, excellent.
This would have won the award for best ensemble for next year.
That's true. Yeah.
By the way.
No, this was just a great movie, hands down. Of course, you got Christopher Nolan's fantastic. He's gonna bring a movie no matter what. The story is
Never missed for me.
But I love how in depth this movie went as far as Oppenheimer's thought process. I didn't realize his political leanings. I didn't realize a lot of his where he's coming from as far as in his world.
Stinking commie.
But there's so much that he dives into, and you feel like you're a part of that world while you're going through it.
Yeah.
3 hour limit on 3 hour movie runtime on this did not feel 3 hours to me. Just really enjoyed the conflict involved in this story. Love the effects. I really wish people would start going back toward more practical effects. It can be done. He's proving it. Robert Downey Jr. Oh, come on, fantastic. Cillian Murphy, fantastic.
Yeah.
The whole cast, fantastic. This movie is great. It's fantastic. Just everybody. If you haven't seen it, I don't know why. Go watch it.
Is this the best biopic ever made? Or?
I don't know.
No, it's tough. I have to sit back and
That's
think
a
about
pretty
that
big
one.
question out there
Really
right
think
now.
about it, that's true. Oh, I
big-
forgot. My wife Florence Pugh is also wonderful in this.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
She's in when she's in it. It's one of
Yeah,
those things. It's hard to get everyone in it, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, but
Yeah.
and yeah.
Even Matt Damon. I mean,
Yeah, I forgot
He's
about him too.
fantastic.
I
Oh,
thought of
yeah.
Josh Hartnett before I thought of Matt Damon.
I was thinking of Josh Peck being so good in this.
It is two scenes.
It's two scenes. Next, we have Sound of Freedom, the true story about the guy that goes, about the basically detective guy that goes off script to go save kids from sex trafficking. Super, super hard film to watch. 'Cause it's very true, especially if you have children. They show real footage of kids being taken off streets and what happens, and it's really good. It's not one I won't watch much, not because it's not good, just because
it's hard to watch.
it's hard to watch,
Yeah.
man, because it's still going on. It raises awareness. This movie wasn't going to be made, and then it got even more theaters because how good it was, and it shows, and it has a thing at the end to like support. Super good. Caviezel, always good. He's not in a lot really to me, but he's good when he's in stuff. It's kind of his passion project. He wanted this to be made. He's like, I'm gonna be in it, so I'm gonna be having made. It's just a hard watch, especially it's a hard watch anyways. But as a parent, it's really hard to watch.
Well, yeah. It's not a fun watch for sure. I don't know why this was like the most controversial movie of 2023.
I don't either.
I don't understand.
I don't think it deserves its. There's people who will defend it tooth and nail. I don't think it's that good, and there's also people who will hate it no matter what. I don't think it deserves its biggest fans or its biggest haters.
Right.
I think it is. As far as filmmaking goes, I think it's well done. I think you're right, Jordan. It is an important yet disturbing movie that needs to be told. It could have felt very staged, very cheesy, but I think the final product is impactful enough. I mean, some of the performances, some of the script is kind of stilted, kind of wooden and whatnot, but for what it is, it's fairly good. Like I said, I don't think it deserves all the hate or necessarily people who would die for it. You know what I mean?
I agree. I mean, production values as far especially. Yeah, I mean, especially when you hear the history of this film, before it was made even. I mean, it was made, Disney had it, they shelved it, this other company bought it from them and put it out, and fantastic. I mean, it made all this money.
It was a Fox movie whenever Disney bought
Right.
Fox. There was a few movies that got kind of lost in the shuffle.
Yeah,
and this
they kind of shelved it, and that was it. They probably were never going to release it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, the story, even if you don't enjoy the way the movie was made or the production value, whatever, the story is compelling enough that you should watch this. It's a story. It needs to be told. It's a story that was well told. And it was it is heartbreaking. Difficult to watch a second time, I would say, but definitely compelling story. Absolutely.
It's not an easy movie to watch for sure. Next, we have El Conde, which is it's a movie I watched because it was nominated for an Oscar. I mean,
Right.
it's
I never heard of it until it was nominated
Yeah.
for Best Cinematography.
it's a weird look at it's black and white, but it's more gray, really.
Yeah,
It's like a
it
gray atmosphere. Basically, a vampire that's lived forever, and he just kind of goes around and messes things up. I don't know how to say it. It's cool looking. It's old looking. It's got when he flies, it looks pretty cool. It's got an interesting story. It's okay. I don't know. I mean, I just watched it because it was an Oscar thing. It was on Netflix too, so it was like easy.
Right.
I think I'm pretty sure it's Spanish
Yeah,
speaking.
it
So
is. Maybe another Argentina. I'm not sure.
Did you watch it, David?
It's solid enough. I've
I
never
just-
watched it again.
Yeah, I thought about it, never got around to it.
Yeah, I never watched
Well,
it
you
again.
know,
That's interesting.
As far as the story goes, it's okay. Yeah, the acting's okay. The thing that sticks out to you really is visually, since the cinematography for it is what's striking about this movie. I don't think the story is anything new.
Even the performances. Not
Yeah,
great.
they're okay. It's just he's a vampire. He's been, like you said, been around forever. Every once in a while, he kills himself off to the world and reinvents himself. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, stuff that's been
As a
done
dictator.
before. Yeah, stuff that's
So.
been done before. Visually, it is just black and white, gray, whatever. It visually, it's stunning. I love the way they fly. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
But it's just an okay movie.
Yeah. Next we have Talk to Me, which was like the talk of the town.
It was, yeah.
The new A24 movie. I didn't know it was Australian before I started watching it.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I like that. I like Australian
Yeah.
accents, so whatever. I think it's solid. I didn't like it as much as
Was it
most.
overhyped a little bit?
I think
Yes.
it is. I think it.
I
I think
agree.
it has a cool aspect, but it takes like an hour to get to that cool aspect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I also kind of think that they're using this demonic possession as like a drug.
Mm-hmm.
And so at some points, I feel
Yeah.
like they're kind of pushing like it's okay.
It's
So
like-
I'm having trouble with it. The ending was
No,
pretty
I
good.
can see the
but
parallels there for
Yeah.
sure. It's almost like an addiction. There's so
Yeah.
many parallels to that, which I liked. Yeah.
it's like whatever for me. I liked it. I think Whenever It Looks is better. I think it's a cool idea. You touch a hand,
Yeah.
you can see the other side. And I wish we saw more of the other side. When we see that, it's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see a lot of that, but you know, and it's pretty gruesome when it gets to that. It takes like an hour to get gruesome though. It's an hour and a half movie, so it's a little slow. I think it's a little overhyped, but I still liked it.
Yeah, these are very different films, but this was the Everything Everywhere All at Once for me this year because I just heard so many
Right.
incredible things about it
Yeah,
going
I'm
into it.
with you.
And like scariest film you're ever gonna see, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. I think it's really good. I think it's a very unique approach to a demon possession type film.
Right.
And I applaud it for that. I think great performances. You know, creepy, effective, very well done horror film. I think it was just a little overhyped for me though.
I get it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was completely overhyped. Yeah, I mean the concept here is cool. Touch a hand, you know, see the other side, whatever. I think they missed.
Cursed hand, man.
I think they missed an opportunity of possibly letting us see more of the other side.
Yeah.
I think toward the end when she is, you know, goes to the other side.
Yeah.
I think they missed an opportunity there where they could have done more as far as interaction between her and the boy. But I thought the movie was good. I'm not saying it was bad. I thought it was good, but I definitely think it was overhyped.
Yeah. It's one of the things we all watched it when it came to streaming, I think. So we
Right,
all watched
so
it
we watched it
after
later,
we
yeah.
heard all this stuff, and I
After we
think
heard that it was the greatest horror movie
I think it has like a 7 something. I think
in
it's
the
like
last years.
a fine rating for it.
Yeah.
But people are saying it's like 10, 9.
No,
No, thanks.
no.
At Letterboxd, people are like 5. Like, nah. One we're going to end on today. I think we all watched this. I'm not sure. I know that I have. So that's all I know. May, December. Anyone
I
else
have
watch
not
it?
watched this.
I watched
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay. May, December was all right. I don't know. I liked it. I don't know how to. People like it. It's Julianne Moore and Natalie Portman. It's about a true story. This is not the true story, but it's based on a true story where a woman basically is a lot older than the boy that she marries. She has relations with him in high school. They end up marrying and having kids.
She goes to prison.
She
Yeah.
does go to
Mhm.
prison. Well, in real life, I don't know if she did in this movie. Did she?
Well, you don't see it, but she
Yeah.
gets out of prison and literally the boy marries his abuser. I mean, it's
Right.
a very and Natalie
And
Portman's making a movie. About
Natalie
it, yeah.
Portman's making a movie about it. She's basically wants to be Julianne Moore in this movie, basically. So she's following her around, asking questions, and it's actually by the end. I did like the end with the guy, and you don't really know what he's thinking, but he's like crying, and you don't really know where he's gonna go from there. But then like the very end is kind of strange. Natalie Portman, she's not really an A-list actor. She acts like she is in this movie, but she really isn't. She's kind of more of a look. The production design of the movie she's making looks like a B tier, so
well,
it's
yeah,
weird.
it-
But I think it's an interesting look at this stuff that's sadly happening or happened
Yeah.
of what's inside this family and how they get pretty persecuted throughout the whole movie by everyone around them.
Yeah.
I think it's a well done movie. It's just not one I'd go back to a punch either.
No, I
So-
think it's very well acted. Natalie Portman, Julian Morgan, the guy Charles Melton, who I had really only seen from like Riverdale or something. He
Right.
is bad in that show, but he
Yeah.
was
Is it
excellent
Riverdale?
in this movie.
Is it Riverdale or is it
Um,
that it doesn't matter.
I don't know, some show like that. I just remember thinking he was a bad actor. Anyway, he's very, very good in this movie. That being said, I think it's well written. I think it's well acted. It's not really my favorite film of the year for sure. It's a very interesting look at relationships and about abuse and things like that. Although I don't know how in God's name this is categorized as a comedy. Like in the Golden Globes, it was like comedy this, comedy
I
that.
don't think I laughed
How?
once.
How?
I
It
don't
is
know.
not funny at
No.
all, dude. But yeah, overall, it's not bad.
Yeah, and so I think that was a Netflix movie, right? Or was it Hulu? It was something like
Netflix.
that. Netflix had a pretty good year, actually. I mean, we don't usually say that, but they had a pretty good year of movies.
Yeah.
Not all of them are solid, but these are pretty solid. Yeah, we're on that today, and we'll finish it next week.
What a way to end
we
things.
we got through a good amount today. We'll finish it next week for sure. So I'm excited about that, so we can talk about our top 10 and bottom 5. That's like my favorite part. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes. So yeah, we got through some movies today. That was fun. But yeah, the beautiful listener out there, what do you think? How do you feel about some of these films from 2023? Whatever you think, you can reach out to us and let us know. You basically find us on any of our socials at Movie Matrix Pod. Or if you want to reach out to us individually on Letterboxd, you can find Jordan at Jordan Reviews 21 on Letterboxd. You can find me at Matt Diggs Film on Letterboxd, and David is Farming Film, spelled with PH, on Letterboxd. Reach out to us there. Like I said, any of our socials, you can hit us up at Movie Matrix Pod. Let us know what you thought about this episode or any of our episodes for that matter. But until next time, signing off for Matt, Jordan, and David. We will see you guys then.
Peace.